Hi, I'm Hekimian. I'm with honeylove.org. I'm one of the directors, and I'm going to show you how to make honey from my backyard. So I'm with honeylove.org. We're an urban beekeeping nonprofit, and what we do is we educate the public that honeybees are safe. We mentor people to become beekeepers, and so we're basically the voice of the bees. What does a beekeeper mean? Well, it means you have to go out and buy a bee suit, you get the gloves, you get the hive tool, you get the bee brush, and you get a smoker. Those are the tools that you need to become a beekeeper. The reason I use smoke is it masks the smell of the pheromones of bees. When bees actually sting, they give off a pheromone that smells like rotten banana. So when a bee stings you and it gives off that pheromone, it gives off a signal to all the other bees to go attack that area. So it's an alarm. And what we're doing is we're masking the alarm. And when you smoke them, they think the house is on fire, and they're gonna go and they're gonna start drinking honey, and their bellies get full and they can't sting. So they're gonna be focused on getting the honey and drinking the honey opposed to bothering you. Being a beekeeper is actually just managing the growth of the hive. So all you have to do is make sure the bees have enough room to grow, and that's the secret. And as they grow, you add another box and another box. Honey is bee food, and you don't want to take their food from them unless it's in excess. So what I tend to do is I'll go into my hives in my backyard and I'll take 1 or 2 or 3 frames out of the hive, so I'm not depleting their whole honey supply. When you become a beekeeper, what you have to do is every 4 to 6 weeks, you open up the hive and you do hive inspections. And what I'm looking for, growth. I'm looking for the brood, the baby bees and the larva. You want to make sure that the queen is laying eggs. And if the queen is laying eggs, that means there's a healthy queen, the hive's growing. And what I'm looking for is the honey. Are they producing honey? Are they making honey? They're called worker bees for a reason, right? They work and work and work, and they produce, one bee only produces 1/12 of a teaspoon. They'll fly back and forth anywhere from 3 to 5 miles to get a nectar. First they go get the nectar and they store it in their honey stomachs. They have these little pouches called honey stomachs. And they come back to the hive and they regurgitate it from these little straw, tongues that they have, and they give it to the other bees, and they take that nectar and they put it into the cells. And what they do is they fan and evaporate the water content, and then you're left with honey. So that's how honey is made. So I open up the hive, and when I'm looking for the honey, I need to get the bees off of it. So I'm gonna lift up the hives, and I can do one of 2 things. I can, kind of give it a good shake, which, works really well, and they come off. But if they're really hanging on, you can get a bee brush and just brush them lightly off, and they'll fall off. Once we get the frames inside the kitchen, what we do is we're gonna put them on a cookie sheet so you're not making a mess. And you're gonna take a knife and you're gonna just cut the wax and the frame all the way around. You're just gonna draw a line around the square frame. You're gonna cut it out, and you're left with a big block of honey and wax. And from there, I'm gonna take a fork and I'm just gonna decap it, right? I'm just gonna take that first layer off. And what that does is it kind of opens it up, and it makes it easier for it to crush and strain. So when I'm in there, it'll just make it easier for me. So we're just gonna kind of rake a fork over the top of it, open them up both sides, cut it up, throw it into your bowl, and then all I'm gonna do is just crush and strain it. I'm just gonna churn it, churn, crush, crush, crush. And once I do that, it almost liquefies. And once it liquefies, you're ready to filter the honey out of the wax. And you do that by the weight of the honey. After it's strained, at the very bottom, you have a little spout, and all you do is just put your jar there, and we're gonna fill it up with honey. And that's it. It goes from the hive, crush and strain, to the jar. This is how honey is made in my backyard.